Well, hello and welcome to everyone to our interpreted story time today. My name is Lindsay and I work for the Saskatoon Public Library. And Janet is our interpreter today for story time. I'd like to begin by acknowledging that we live on Treaty 6 territory, and I recognize and honor the history of this land, and I'm happy to be here reading stories with you today. All right, let's sing our Hello Friend song. Please join along with us. Hello friends, hello friends, hello friends, it's time to say hello. All right, let's get started with our first story, and I'm going to draw a picture as we tell this story today. And so this story is about a brother and sister named Carl and Cindy. And Carl and Cindy love to create things. They love to make things out of their imaginations. Well, their parents noticed that they love to make things, and so they made them a special room in the basement, just like this. And they made a special room, a table for Carl to work at, and a special table for Cindy to work at. And sometimes they work together at this great big long table that I'm drawing. Cindy liked to make things out of boxes. Sometimes she made things with small boxes like this. Sometimes she found giant boxes and made things with giant boxes. And sometimes she made things out of medium boxes. Carl liked to make things out of wires. Sometimes he made things with great big long wires like this. And let's make another one here. And sometimes he liked to use short, curly little wires. And another one. And sometimes he made things with very short wires like this one at the bottom. One day they were creating and Cindy said, I am just about done with this creation. I just think it needs a box right here and another box right over here. And Carl said, yes, and if we put a wire here and another wire here, that'll be just right. Do you know what Carl and Cindy were creating on this particular day? What about if I turn it around? Do you notice now what they're creating? Let's read this great story about creativity called Boxatex. And the author and illustrator for this book is Kim Smith. Meg was a boxatect. She loved to make things out of boxes. She loved making tiny homes, tall towers, and twisty tunnels. And she made marvelous things no one had ever seen before. Meg was proud of her work. She could make boxes into anything. Meg's mother was proud too. She thought Meg was brilliant and creative. So Meg's mother sent Meg to maker school, where she could be even more brilliant and creative. At maker school, they were blanketeers, spaghetti techs, tinfoilers, and egg cartoneers. There was almost any kind of maker you could imagine. But Meg was the class's first boxatect, and that made her feel special. At school, Meg learned all about boxatecture. She learned how to make her structures useful, strong, and beautiful. Meg loved everything about maker school. Until Simone showed up. Like Meg, Simone was new. She was also brilliant and creative. Worst of all, Simone was a boxatect too, and she was already making things Meg had never dreamed of. In class, Simone would point out ways Meg could make her constructions a little straighter, more wind resistant, and less boring. So Meg told Simone she should build things that were less bumpy, sturdier, and much prettier. On the last day of school, the class's annual maker match was held to see who could make the most amazing thing. There was just one rule. You had to work as a team. But Meg didn't want to work with anyone, and neither did Simone. The Blanketeers built with blankets and pillows. The Spaghetti Techs built with pasta and glue. The Bakeologists built with cake and frosting. But the Boxatechs were not building at all. They were arguing. I want to make a tree house, Meg said. No, I want to make a ship, Simone insisted. Meg drew a line down the middle of a very large box. I'll take this half. You can have the other. Fine, said Simone. Soon, Meg noticed that her treehouse wasn't as large as Simone's ship, so she made her side taller and more impressive. When Simone noticed that Meg's treehouse was taller than her ship, she made her side taller and more extraordinary. Slowly, Meg and Simone's creation grew bigger and bigger. They both built and built until there wasn't a single box left. And at last, oh, look at how big it's getting. Oh, wow, they finished. What is it? Asked a classmate. I've never seen anything like it, said another. The teacher said, it looks like it might. Uh-oh, do you see that little bee or fly? It says, achoo! When the fly sneezes, what do you think is going to happen? Crash! C-R-A-S-H, crash! Oh no! Look at their faces. Ah! Your side was too wobbly, shouted Meg. Your side was too heavy, cried Simone. Oh dear, said the judge. The maker match was not over yet, but most of Meg and Simone's work was ruined. There were only a few parts left that could be saved. If we combine my treehouse with your ship, Meg started, we might be able to make one thing, finished Simone. The Boxatechs decided to call a truce so they could finish the match. Working as a team, Meg and Simone quickly joined the remaining pieces together until, well, what do you think happened? They had created something new. At the end of the maker match, the Boxatechs hadn't won first place. It looks like the Spaghetti Techs won first place. But they had a different way of making brilliant and creative things, working together. And they each gained a new friend. What should we make next? How about a buoyant bungalow? Or a motorcycle mansion? Well, on the last few pages of this book, there are some ways that you could become a Boxatech at home if you want, just like Meg and Simone. It looks like Meg is showing us how to fold paper to make it more strong. It looks like she's showing us how to make a tunnel and a door in the side of the tunnel. And on this page, you could build a giant castle. I like how they have strings so that the door can go up and down. That's really neat. I hope you enjoyed this book called Box of Texts by Kim Smith. All right, we're going to play a little game called Little Mouse. So we're going to find the little mouse hiding behind 3 different houses. Let's practice. Little mouse, are you behind the house? All right, here come the houses, so we can choose one. Little mouse, are you behind the yellow house? Do you think the mouse is in the apartment? Let's see. Nope. Let's look in the, what do you think, tree house? Little mouse, are you behind the tree house? Is it there? Nope. Log cabin next. Little mouse, are you behind the brown cabin house? Yes, we found one! Hooray! Little mouse, are you behind the, let's check the trailer in the corner. The trailer house? Nope. All right, maybe the birdhouse? Little mouse, are you behind the birdhouse? Yes, we found one! Hooray! Little mouse, are you behind the pink house? Is it there? No. Maybe in the firehouse. Little mouse, are you behind the firehouse? No. Let's try the lighthouse. It must be there. Little mouse, are you behind the lighthouse? We found the last mouse. Hooray! Thank you for playing that game with me. This book is called If I Built a House, and it's written by Chris Van Dusen. Look at all those marvelous plans. All right. Jack, in the backyard, said to his mother, "This house is okay, but it's like any other. It's boxy and boring and basically bland. It's nothing at all like the house I have planned. My house will be different. It can't be the norm. I'll think about traffic flow, function, and form. Oh, it may include shapes like a tower or dome, but I'll focus on what makes a building a home. It's the rooms on the inside that make it unique. So step through the door and let's take a peek. We'll start with the basics right off the bat. Check out my all-in-one kitchen, oh Matt. You don't have to cook and you don't have to clean. It's done by a space-age robotic machine. It makes all the meals and the food is delish. Then it washes and puts away every last dish. The living room's next. It's fun, come on in. The chairs and the tables and sofa all spin. And trampolines lead to a giant ball pit. It's a pretty neat room, you have to admit. Now look in the bathroom. No shower, no tub. Instead, take a ride on my scrub-a-dub-dub. Just step on the belt and it washes you clean. Even the places that you've never seen. And here is my bedroom way up in the sky, on top of a tower 200 feet high. With glass all around, just check out the view. A bed in a tower, now that's something new. The rooms we walked through just moments before are the kinds that you find in any decor. But if I built a house, I'd add a few more. So hop on the slide, it's time to explore. Look at that slide, woo! You know how I constantly like to create? Well, this is my art room. Isn't it great? You draw on the wall. Don't worry, it's cool. Hung way up high on a big giant spool is a huge roll of paper that hangs to the floor. Just draw till you're done, then pull down some more. Next comes my flying room. See how it's tall? It's empty except for a switch on the wall. Just turn off the switch and you'll float off the ground. Then flap like a bird and fly all around. Isn't it nice to be up in the air? A room without gravity. That's pretty rare. This is my racetrack room. Step right inside. It's less like a room and more like a ride. It features a racetrack that loops all around with super fast go-karts that don't make a sound. You fly and you flip and you sip and you zoom. You have to admit, it's a wonderful room. A room filled with water? Now that's something new. But if I build a house, that's just what I do. This is my fish tank room. Ain't it a sight? Don't worry, they're friendly. The critters won't bite. Just strap on an air mask to swim with the fishes. Now this is a room that every kid wishes. Of course, I've been saving the best room for last. And literally speaking, this room is a blast. So, welcome, sit down. I'll seal up the hatches. The plexiglass playroom completely detaches. You fly it around. Why, it even has jets. For me, this room is as good as it gets. My house will be nifty. My house will be neat. My house will stand out as the best on the street. Daringly bold, yet exquisitely fine. A must-see example of modern design. My house will be hailed as refreshingly new. If I built a house, that's just what I'd do. It looks like our friend is building some Lego and some cardboard structures right now. And Mom is looking at the designs. All right, we are going to sing a song. A hammer? Well, let's sing a song about a hammer. Join with me. Can you put a pretend hammer in your hand? Here we go. I will work with one hammer, one hammer, one hammer. I will work with one hammer, then I'll work with two. Get one in both hands. I will work with two hammers, two hammers, two hammers. I will work with two hammers, then I'll work with three. You're gonna have to put one on your foot. I will work with three hammers, three hammers, three hammers. I will work with three hammers, then I'll work with four. You're gonna have to put one on your other foot. Okay, get one on both feet. Ready? I will work with four hammers, four hammers, four hammers. I will work with four hammers, then I'll work with five. You're gonna have to hold a hammer on your head. Here we go. I will work with five hammers, five hammers, five hammers. I will work with five hammers, then I'll go to sleep. Thank you for joining along with me. Next, we have a book called What We'll Build, and it's by Oliver Jeffers. What shall we build, you and I? Let's gather all our tools for a start. You see a hammer and a saw, all sorts of other tools for building. For putting together and taking apart. Let's build a door where there was none. We'll build a house to be our home. I'll build your future and you'll build mine. We'll build a watch to keep our time. We'll build some love to set aside and build a hole where we can hide. Digging holes is lots of fun. A fortress to keep our enemies out and higher walls for when they shout. But you don't always lose and you don't always win, so we'll build a gate to let them in. We'll build a table to drink our tea and say, I'm sorry, me too, me three. We'll build a tower to watch the sky and other worlds that pass us by. Let's build a tunnel to anywhere. Let's build a road up to the moon. Let's build a comfy place to rest, for we'll be tired soon. Let's build a boat that can't be broken, that will not sink or be cracked open. A place to stay when all is lost, to keep the things we love the most. We'll put these favorite things beside the earlier love we set aside. Oh, look at all the things that they have set aside, saved from favorite memories. I think that we may want them later when times are hard and needs are greater. But first things first, let's build a fire. For we've planned a lot and now we're tired. It'll keep us warm like when we're born. Then we'll say goodnight as all's all right. These are the things we'll build, you and I. And that is the end. Well, it has been so much fun reading and singing with you. It is now time to say goodbye. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends. Goodbye, friends.